الوحدة الثامنة. Hamza, you ready? So here we have a conversation between Uthman and Ali. Uthman and Ali. Oh, I'm in a live class. Speak to the teachers downstairs. He's downstairs. Yes, sir. The brother in the office? Yeah, you can give it to him. Yeah. Or if not, you give one of the teachers. Uthman, he said, أعمل طبيبا ماذا تعمل أنت؟ أعمل طبيبا ماذا تعمل أنت? You have the full book? Huh? Yeah. What's the page before that? Okay, that's how it starts in a weird way. Okay. أعمل طبيبا. أعمل means what?
I work.
Right? أعمل can be I do or I work from عمل. Right? More specific is here it's going to be I work. Right? To do is more فعل. To do is more فعل. So أعمل طبيبا, I work. And now here, you know, طبيبا is in fatha state, right? Mansub. So what he means, I work as a doctor. Right? I work as a doctor. Describing the type of job that he is doing. Now, we mentioned the word as if it's used for to show meaning. If the as in English is to show similarity, comparison, right? That's going to be like ka, right? The man plays like a lion, or the man sleeps like a elephant or something like that, right? That's comparison. Here is not comparison. Here is not comparison. Here he's saying I work. Now here he's specifying what he works as. He's specifying what he works as, or describing what he works as. Right? Now, as to why it has fatha and not dhamma, to make it simple, if you were to say أعمل طبيب, أعمل طبيب, أعمل is I am working, طبيب is a doctor. Now, طبيب, if he was the one working, the doctor was working, it would be يعمل طبيب or الطبيب يعمل. Right? The Dhamma state shows the subject or the doer. Now here the word is not showing subject or doer. Here it's describing this work. It's describing the what? The work, or specifying what the work is. So things like that, it takes a fatha state if it's a single word. And we're gonna go into it briefly towards the end. Not the end of today's class, but towards the end of the book, inshallah ta'ala. ماذا تعمل أنت? What do you do? What do you do? Meaning, what do you work as? Right? What is your work? ماذا تعمل? What do you work? Literally. أنت. أعمل مهندسا. I work as a engineer. I work as a engineer. Uthman, أين تعمل? So now remember we mentioned the main thing is understanding the meaning. Now if you want to say I work as anything, give me another occupation, as a pilot, right? أعمل طيارا. What is it? Teacher. أعمل مدرسا. Right? You follow the same pattern. You follow the same pattern. أعمل في شركة. Where do you work? أعمل في شركة. I work in a sharika. Sharika is company. Sharika is a company. And like we mentioned with these conversations, try write the meaning out and memorize them as it is. Right? Write the meaning and memorize them as it is. So you have a lot of patterns or templates in your head. أين تعمل أنت? Where do you work? أين تعمل? Where you work by itself. أنت, you, for emphasis, right? أعمل في المستشفى. I work in the hospital. أعمل في المستشفى. I work in the hospital. كم ساعة تعمل في اليوم? كم is how many? ساعة here is hours, right? ساعة is hours. تعمل, you work في اليوم, in the day, right? So he's asking how many hours you work in the day. كم, how many? ساعة. And we mentioned when you're asking how many something, the thing that you're asking about, the thing that you have to count for the how many, it's singular and in mansub state, right? Fatha state. Kam sa'atan. How many hours? Uthman, أعمل 8 ساعات في اليوم. أعمل, I work. 8 is 8 ساعات hours في اليوم, in the day. I work 8 hours in the day. وكم ساعة تعمل أنت? And how many hours you work? How many hours you work? أعمل 7 ساعات. أعمل 7 ساعات. I work 7 hours. I work 7 hours. Now what you notice with 8 ساعات and 7 ساعات? Notice anything? Huh? The second word is kasra. The first word, yeah, it has a fatha. But if you just focus on the time, the hours, right? 7 hours. Why it has a fatha? Because he's saying I work 7 hours, right? That's why I take fatha. So if you want to say I work 7 hours, I do something for so many time, for so many hours, the time going to be in fatha. But note the first word, the number has a single vowel, no alif and lam. And the second, the hours, the thing that you count in, has kasra. So from 3 to 10, it used the al-mudaf ilay. Process? You following? What happened? Why you look last? Huh? Which part you're not following? What's the mudaf and mudaf ilay? Right? The mudaf and the mudaf ilay, don't try understand the terminology. Know what it's referring to. When you use of, the car of the teacher, the bus of the school, the student's pen, or the apostrophe S. Just know that al-mudaf wal-mudaf ilay refers to that. Don't try to understand the terminology, why you calling it mudaf wal-mudaf ilay, because that can confuse you. Clear? Right? Now the mudaf al-mudaf ilay construction, what we said about it, the first word never takes tanween, never takes, what else? No. Al. It never takes tanween, never takes alif and lam. Right? It's going to fatha, dam, or kasra depending on how it comes in a sentence. Right? And the second word is always in the kasra state or majroor. Right? Majroor. So numbers from 3 to 10 is the work like this in the mudaf. So you say 7 of hours. In English we say 7 hours. In Arabic they say 7 of hours. Right? And also the number 100 and 1000, right? They all use the mudaf wal mudaf ilay construction. Except for 100 and 1000, the thing that you're counting is singular, it's not plural. From 3 to 10, the thing that you're counting is going to be in the plural state. Clear? Okay, let's say we counting hours. Right? So hours, the plural for hours is sa'at. So if you want to say 3 hours, you say thalatha sa'atin. If you're saying I work 3 hours. But if you're just saying 3 hours, it's going to be thalathu sa'atin, arba'u sa'atin, khamsu sa'atin. Right? 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. So 3 to 10, mudaf and mudaf ilay construction. And the thing that you're counting going to be plural. When it's 100, the thing you're counting going to remain in the singular state. So you're going to say mi'atu sa'atin. You're not going to say mi'atu sa'atin. That's what I meant, right? Mi'atu sa'atin and alfu sa'atin, right? That's how the language works. In English you say 100 hours. In Arabic you say 100 of hour. Right? 100 of hour. That's just know that's the language, just learn it just like that. Don't hurt your head. Right?
Works for all numbers.
Which all numbers?
Because you said it only works at the beginning, you said it only works for like
There's a rule for 3 to 10, 100 and 1000. We didn't mention the other numbers. Yeah, generally, we said as a kind of guideline to make it easy, you treat everything as a default that it has a dhamma, unless there's something affecting it, taking it away from the dhamma state. So, the mudaf and the mudaf ilay, the first word gonna always have a dhamma if it's the subject of the sentence, the doer of the sentence is going to have a dhamma, unless something is affecting it to take away the dhamma. Now there's a next thing to note with regards to the counting from 3 to 10. What's 3 in Arabic? That's the only word for 3? No, 3, not third or anything. You can say thalatha or you can say thalathatun. Right? The numbers from 1 to 10, from 1 to 10, right? The numbers, they have masculine and feminine. Right? So you get wahid, wahidatun. Ithnain, ithnan, ithnatan, ithnatain, right? Ithnan get variation for 2. And 3, thalathun, thalathatun, arba'un, arba'atun, khamsun, khamsatun, sittun, sittatun, thamanin, thamaniyatun, right? So you have the gender. Now from 3 to 10, The number is the opposite gender of what you're counting. Right? Arabic, they say when you want to improve your IQ, study Arabic. Right? A lot of brain work. Where after a while you get accustomed to it. Not by learning the grammar and constantly applying it. No. Just keep reading and exposing yourself to the language. So you know what sa'at, you can see the ta there, right? Sa'atun is feminine. Right? Sa'a is feminine. So that's why you say sab'a sa'atin and not sab'ata sa'atin. So the number is the opposite gender of what you're counting. Now how to know the gender of what you're counting? You're looking at the singular word. Right? You're looking at the singular word. So if you want to say 3 books, you can say thalathatu kutubin. Thalathatu kutubin, because book is kitab, masculine. Right? Thalathu kutubin. Like in Surah Nur, and tashhada arba'a shahadatin. Right? Shahadatan, shahadatun, feminine. So arba'a shahadatin. Right? And whereas you have numbers. No, that is different. That is not these type of numbers. Right? So that's أعمل 7 ساعات. I work 7 hours. هل تحب عملك? هل تحب عملك? تحب is what? تحب, eh? You love. Right? So هل تحب, do you love your work? عملك, do you work? Love your work. Yeah, this ruling in general is for 3 to 10. 1 and 2 has a slight variation. And after 10 to 19, there is a different set of rulings. And then the 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 has a ruling. And then 100 has a ruling. 1,000 have a ruling. And then the ruling just keep repeating. Uthman, ana uhibbu amali aidan. Right? I love my work also. I love my work also. The main thing is recognizing. So whether you see thalathu sa'atin, thalathata sa'atin, right? Whether you figure out there's a typo in the book or not, you're going to know it's 3 hours. That's the main thing right now. Right? If you comprehend the grammar, then that's good. That's good. If you don't comprehend it now, inshallah you comprehend it later. Al-Hiwar al-Thani, the second conversation. الطالب الأول and الطالب الثاني. We have الطالب الثالث, الطالب الرابع, الطالب الخامس, and الطالب السادس. Right? الطالب الأول, the first student. الطالب الثاني, the second student. الطالب الثالث, the third student. Now these are the sequential number, as we call it, or ordinal. Which one? Ordinal, right? For second, third, fourth. This is how you say it. Now it doesn't have the same ruling as the other one. You see, الطالب الثالث. Here, the ordinal number, or the 1, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, that's like adjectives. In Arabic, those are adjectives. So it's going to follow the ruling of the adjective, right? Everything got a match, right? So الطالب الثالث. If you say a female student, it's going to be الطالبة الثالثة, right? They're adjectives. Clear? الطالبة الثالثة. Remember he said these type of numbers, 4, 2nd, 3rd, 4, they are adjectives. Adjectives have to agree with the gender and the definite or indefinite and so on. Right? It's not the same ruling like what we mentioned just now. You following? Make sure you follow there. ماذا سنعمل بعد الدراسة؟ ماذا سنعمل بعد الدراسة؟ نعمل is we work, right? Seen is for future. What will we work? Right? ماذا what? Will we work? بعد الدراسة. بعد is after. الدراسة is studies. Right? الدراسة is studies. الطالب الثاني أنا أدرس الطب في كلية الطب سأعمل طبيبا إن شاء الله. أنا أدرس الطب. I am studying medicine. Right? الطب is medicine. I am studying medicine. في كلية الطب in the college of medicine. سأعمل I will work طبيبا as a doctor inshallah. Right? These are, remember that this is Arabic to learn the language. So everything might look redundant, but it's on purpose. Right? أنا أدرس الصيدلة. أنا أدرس الصيدلة في كلية الصيدلة. Right? If you pronounce the ta, أنا أدرس الصيدلة في كلية الصيدلة. سأعمل صيدليا إن شاء الله. What's صيدلية? Pharmacy, right? أنا أدرس الصيدلة. I'm studying, there's a noun for it, pharmacy.
Pharmaceutical.
Pharmaceutical. Or there's an adjective. Right? What is what we're referring to? The studies that you study to become a pharmacist. What do you call it? In the college of As-Saydala. Right? I will be a pharmacy, inshallah. Saydaliyan. Pharmacist. I will be a pharmacist. And the same word is used, Saydaliya, with a ta, is used for pharmacy. Right? It was used for pharmacy. الطالب الرابع أنا أدرس التمريض. أنا أدرس التمريض في كلية التمريض سأعمل ممرضا إن شاء الله. Right? I'm studying تمريض. What is تمريض? Nursing. Right? In the College of Nursing, I will work as a nurse inshallah. I will work as a nurse inshallah. Right? This is a male nurse, right? A male nurse, mumarrid. And the female nurse, mumarrida, mumarridatun. الطالب الخامس أنا أدرس الهندسة في كلية الهندسة سأعمل مهندسا إن شاء الله. Right? I'm studying, what's هندسة? Engineering. In the College of Engineering, I'm going to work as a engineer inshallah. أنا أدرس الطيران or الطيران. الطيران, right? No shadda. أنا أدرس الطيران في كلية الطيران سأعمل طيارا. طيران is
Pilot.
this, the science that you study to become a pilot. Aviation. I am in the College of Aviation. I will work as a pilot inshallah. The first student أنا أدرس التربية في كلية التربية سأعمل مدرسا. Right? Inshallah. We did tarbiyah is teaching education. Further. Pause for the adhan.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah.
Explain what?
When you explain Talib al-Awwal.
Tabib al-awwal, where is Tabib al-awwal?
Talib al-Awwal. Like the ordinary,
Uh-huh.
why don't they get Mubarak and Mubarak later?
I don't understand.
Why not? They don't,
At-talib al-awwal means what?
the first two,
Good. And talibun wahid means what?
the first two.
No. One student. So it's two different type of numbering. One, the first student. ثلاثة طلاب is what? الطالب الثالث. Same thing? No, so that gets its ruling and this gets its ruling. Right? These are adjectives. You're not counting how many. You understand? First student, second student, third student, fourth student. But when you want to say it like this. You understand? One student, two student, three student, four students. But when you want to say that, say it like how we talk about just now. Don't confuse yourself. Simple as that. Just memorize and copy and paste. Confusing yourself unnecessarily right now. When you want to say three students, say what? Which students? Tullab. Right? Thalathatu tullab. When you want to say the third student, what do you say? Good. That is all you need right now. Right? Don't confuse yourself. Al-Wahda al-Thamina, we're still on the 8th unit, the third hiwar, the third conversation. This is between Zainab and Maryam. Zainab, أنا مدرسة ما مهنتك أنا مدرسة ما مهنتك I am a teacher. What is your mihna? What is mihna? Profession. Right? Mihna is profession. Mihnatun. Mihnatun is profession. And remember, he said this key, literally, this construction is what is the profession of yours, right? Because your profession itself, that construction there is not in Arabic. It's the profession of yours. That's how you say it in Arabic. But you translate it as your profession. Ma mihnatuki. What is your profession? And make sure you don't mix up this ha and this noon. Because if you flip it, ma minhatuki, right? You change the meaning. أنا مدرسة أيضا مريم. I am a teacher also. في أي مرحلة تدرسين؟ في أي مرحلة تدرسين؟ مرحلة means what? Level or stage. Right? مرحلة means level or stage. So kindergarten is a marhala, right? After kindergarten is what? Nursery? Or the kindergarten is nursery? Huh? First grade, there is a marhala, second grade, marhala. Then you have up to what grade is middle school? Sixth grade. So all of those are marhala. Even if you say middle school, high school, are all marhala, right? Or marhala. You categorize it however. Now she's speaking to a female, present tense, tudarrisin, right? Ana udarris, I am teaching. Anta tudarris, you are teaching, right? Huwa yudarris, he is teaching. Now you, anti, speaking to a female, tudarrisin, right? Anti tudarrisin. And this week we got to start the mudari. We finished with the past tense last week, right? I sent a PDF. We're going to go through it, inshallah, with some different type of words, past tense, and the verbs with the past tense conjugation. But we're going to start the present tense more in detail this week, inshallah. So, Zainab is asking Maryam, في أي مرحلة تدرسين? In which level do you teach? Excuse me. مريم أدرس في المرحلة الابتدائية. أدرس في المرحلة الابتدائية. I am teaching in the primary level. Now this word al-ibtida'i here is used as an adjective, so everything got a match. I'm teaching in the primary level, right? Al-madrasa al-ibtida'iyya is going to be primary school. Al-marhala al-ibtida'iyya, the primary level, right? The primary level. Now these are, they use more the British system, like Guyana, Caribbean, right? So it's nursery, primary, and secondary, and you're done. Maryam, وَفِي أَيِّ مَرْحَلَةٍ تُدَرِّسِينَ أَنْتِ? And in which level do you teach? أُدَرِّسُ فِي الْمَرْحَلَةِ الْمُتَوَسِّطَةِ. I teach in the middle level, right? I teach in the mutawassit, from wasat, right? In the middle level. هل لك أطفال? Now note how they say middle level, the level that's like middle school, middle level. They didn't use the word wasat, في المرحلة, في مرحلة الوسط or anything like that, right? You just note how they express it and express it like that. في المرحلة المتوسطة. هل لك أطفال? Atfal means children. La means by itself, la li means here, belonging to, right? Alhamdulillah, praise belongs to Allah, right? As-sayyara li, the car belongs to me. So laki means by itself belonging to you. So belonging to you are children, hal for question. So it literally means, are they children belonging to you? Literally. So I mean, do you have children? If you translate it to an appropriate English. Do you have children? There's one of the way you can express it. Right? You can say hal ladayki atfal. They have different way, but it's one of the way. Hal laki atfal.
Why there's not just shadda on the lamb instead of doing two lambs?
It's two different words that can merge. The shadda is for where it's possible to merge. But it's two different words that don't merge. Na'am. Yes, li atfal. I have children. Kam tiflan lak. Right? How many children laki belongs to you? Literal meaning, right? Or how many children you have? How many children you have? Note what you count in is the children. So, singular, mansub form, fatha form. Li khamsatu atfalin. Belonging to me are 5 children. Right? I have 5 children. Note, tifl is masculine, so the number is feminine. Right? So the number is feminine. Zainab, hal tuhibbina amalak? Do you love your work? Now you're asking a male, هل تحب عملك? You're asking a female, هل تحبين عملك? نعم أحب عملي. أنا أحب عملي أيضا. Okay, so we're going to pause here for the salah, inshallah, and after the salah, we're going to continue from the book. Not this book, the other book. We have the 9th wihda. How many lessons we have here remaining? We don't have much. Right, about four lessons, inshallah. And then once we have time, we're going to take an entire story. Right? Once we finish this, and most likely we're going to have time, we're going to take an entire story and go through it, inshallah. So 5:30, inshallah ta'ala. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Everyone is back. So from the text we are on the 9th lesson, right? الدرس التاسع, the ninth lesson. النص, the text. فضل ذكر الله, فضل ذكر الله, the virtue of the remembrance of Allah, right? And you're going to correct the spelling. We mentioned the English. فضل ذكر الله, the Arabic is okay. The virtue, the word virtue, and remembrance needs to be corrected. Now the word fadl means virtue, and it can mean favor or bounty also, right? Well, all goes back to virtue. Is a fadl from Allah. They're all fadl from Allah. Something the person did out of their own favoring, their own free will. That's a fadl. You force somebody to give you their food, to give you a pen or a pencil. You can't say this is a fadl from the person, right? But a fadl is something given to you by the free will of an individual. So everything, so like the dunya or the wealth that we have, is fadl from Allah, right? And that meaning is used in the Quran in many places. To seek, when it comes to seeking your livelihood, seeking wealth, the word fadl is used. For example, where وَابْتَغُوا فَانْتَشِرُوا فَإِذَا قُضِيَتِ الصَّلَاةُ, when the Jumu'ah is finished, فَانْتَشِرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَابْتَغُوا, and seek min fadlillah, right? From the fadl of Allah, from the virtue of Allah, the favor of Allah. What is the virtue or the favor there? Right? The wealth, the profit, the sustenance. لَيْسَ عَلَيْكُمْ جُنَاحٌ أَن تَبْتَغُوا min fadlillah, in Surah Al-Baqarah with regards to Hajj. Right? If you're on Hajj, there is no harm upon you if you seek the fadl of Allah in Hajj. What is meant? There is no harm if you seek the fadl of Allah. Where is the fadl there? Not referring to the reward, because obviously that's what you're there for. Referring to the business, right? You can work during Hajj and make money. That's the fadl of Allah. Huh? You had a question, Ibrahim? Yeah, tafaddal, from the same root. From the same root, tafaddal. Right? That's when we say min fadlik, that translate as please. Right? We explain from your fadl, from your favor. Meaning, you're asking the person to do it without forcing them. Right? If you want to pass, you say min fadlik, meaning you're not commanding them, forcing them to give you a pass. Right? You're asking them politely out of their favor to give you a pass. You want someone to give you a pencil, min fadlik, right? Meaning you're not commanding them, right? You're asking them out of their own free will and their favor to give you whatever you're asking for. Min fadlik. Translated as please. But it's more eloquent than just please. So the virtue or the favor, here it's going to be the virtue. What is meant by the virtue? Meaning the reward and that you gain from remembering Allah. Right? When you remember Allah, the reward that comes from that. Right? Fadlu dhikrillah, the virtue of the remembrance of Allah. قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, excuse me, the messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, or the prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, كلمتان خفيفتان على اللسان ثقيلتان في الميزان حبيبتان إلى الرحمن سبحان الله وبحمده سبحان الله العظيم سبحان الله وبحمده سبحان الله العظيم سبحان الله وبحمده. If the wording has the opposite, it's the same thing, right? Kalimatan means two words, right? Kalimatun, a word. Kalimatan, two words, right? Qalamun, a pen. Qalamani, two pens. Khafif means light. Now you're describing the two words as light, so everything got a match, right? So feminine, kalimatun is feminine, so khafif has to have the ta, feminine, right? And it's two, how to make it two. So kalimatan khafifatan means two light words. Two light words, that's the literal meaning, right? Two light words ala lisan, upon the tongue. Literally, two light words upon the tongue, meaning there are two light words on the tongue, or there are two words that are light on the tongue. Understand? Remember we said this, there is, in this context, doesn't exist in Arabic, right? Fil bayti rajul, in the house is a man, meaning there is a man in the house, right? This there is construction is not in Arabic, right? In this context, right? There is a boy, right? As a demonstrative pronoun, yes, but not like there is in this context here. So kalimatan khafifatan literally mean what? Two light words. Ala lisan, on the tongue. Meaning there are two light words on the tongue, or there are two words that are light on the tongue. Right? Two light words on the tongue. Al-lisan is tongue, right? Thaqilatan fil mizan. And these two light words, they are thaqilatan. Thaqilatan means heavy. Right? Now it's describing the two words. Thaqilun is heavy. Make it thaqil feminine, gonna be thaqilatun. Now make thaqilatun two, thaqilatani. Right? Thaqilatan. So these two words, they are heavy. Thaqilatan fil mizan. In the scales, meaning the scales of good deeds, right? The scales of deeds. Fil mizan. Everyone understand where we get thaqilatan from? And qalaman, khafifatan.
So is it feminine or masculine?
Which one?
Both, the word.
Which words? The word, the original, the noun is kalima. That's the noun, right? Kalima. So kalima is a feminine word. So everything describing kalima has to be feminine. Now we're saying two kalima, two words. So everything describing these two words has to be feminine and dual. Remember, adjective has to match up, right? Adjective or descriptive khabar, descriptive predicate also have to match with everything except with regards to definite or indefinite. So thaqilatan means heavy. These two light words, they are heavy on the scale. Light on the tongue, heavy on the scale. Habibatan, habib means beloved, right? You know, habibi, my beloved. So habibatun is something that is female, a feminine thing that is beloved. So these two words, they are beloved. So you're going to describe it as habibatan. The ta because kalima is feminine, and the alif and the noon because you're talking about two. Right? We're going to go through the dual more specific in the lesson. This chapter is dealing with the dual. Ila Rahman. So these two light words on the tongue, they're heavy on this in the scale, beloved to Ar-Rahman. What are these two light words? Are these two words? Subhanallah al-Azim. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi. Right? Subhanallah al-Azim. Glory be to Allah al-Azim, the magnificent. And Subhanallah wa bihamdihi. And glory be to Allah and with His praise. Right? Wa bihamdihi mean you glorifying Allah along with praising Him. Wa bihamdihi. Right? When you say bihamdi, with His praise, meaning you glorifying Him along with praising Him. So this is one word, Subhanallah al-Azim, and Subhanallah wa bihamdihi is another word. Now this is one of the meaning or the usage of word. When you say word in Arabic, you can refer to a single word like kitab, qalam, or you can refer to a phrase. Right? The context is going to make it clear. Right? Like for example, kalimatu tawheed, the word of tawheed. What is it? One word? No, la ilaha illallah. Right? So that expression is known in Arabic, kalimatu tawheed. Right? So that's the first hadith. The second hadith, قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, the messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم said, the prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم said, سبق المفردون. سبق المفردون. The secluders surpassed. Right? The secluders surpassed.
Isn't it? Subhanallah bihamdihi, subhanallah al-azim.
It doesn't matter. Two word in. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanallah al-azim, subhanallah al-azim, subhanallah wa bihamdihi. Yeah. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he made this statement. The secluders surpassed. Now, reading this first statement, just who is the secluders and what is surpass? Just how it's sung like that, just like that, it's sung to the companions. As strange, the secluders surpassed. Who are the secluders that surpassed? Surpassed. Everyone knows what surpass means, right? They went ahead, right? They won the race, surpassed, right? So here it means they went ahead with the reward. So the companions, they asked, قال الصحابة, the companions said, وَمَا الْمُفَرِّدُونَ, and what are the secluders? وَمَا, and what? Al-Mufarridun, what are the secluders? Ya Rasulallah, O Messenger of Allah. Right? Mufarrid is secluder. Mufarridun, secluders. Like Muslim, Muslimun. Mu'min, Mu'minun. Right? What are the secluders? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, الذاكرون الله كثيرا والذاكرات. الذاكرون الله. الذاكرون, the rememberers of Allah. Literally, that is what it means. Right? The rememberers. ذاكرون is rememberers, male rememberers, and ذاكرات, female rememberers. Right? So the male who remember Allah and the females who remember Allah. A lot. Kathira. They remember Allah a lot. They are the ones who surpass with the reward. Right? وَلَذِكْرُ اللَّهِ أَكْبَرُ. Allah mentioned the remembrance of Allah is the greatest thing. Right? So they are the ones who surpass. Now, why did the Prophet ﷺ describe them as secluders? Because in order to remember Allah, right, you have to seclude yourself away from the busyness of the people with your tongue. It doesn't mean here, it doesn't mean that they are secluding, meaning they went into a room and locked up and remembering Allah. That is not what is meant. Meaning these are the true secluders with regards to the worship of Allah. That is what is meant. Right? They are the true secluders who seclude themselves to worship Allah, those who remember Allah a lot, no matter where they are. Because if you are in the midst of people and you're busy with everyone, right? Your tongue is not secluded with the remembrance of Allah. Right? The true seclusion with the remembrance of Allah, with Allah, is those who remember Allah a lot. And they are the ones who went ahead with the reward. Now, note here, الذاكرون, right? Dhakara means he remembered. The one who remembers, the doer form is dhakir. Right? We did that. Like aslam, Muslim. The plural is dhakirun, like Muslim, Muslimun. The female version for dhakir is going to be dhakiratun. And the plural for dhakiratun is going to be dhakirat. Right? Like Muslimun, Muslimatun, Muslimat. Clear? Now here the word is used as a verb. Those who remember Allah. That's why Allah has a lafzul jalala, has a fatha on it. Lafzul jalala. Now when you talk in grammar in a sentence and any of the names of Allah come out of adab, etiquette, you're not going to say put a fatha on Allah. You're going to say put a fatha on lafzul jalala, on the wording of al-jalala, meaning this word. You understand? So when you don't understand? Out of etiquette, you're not going to say put a fatha or a dhamma on Allah. How that sung? It's sung right? How it's sung right? It's bad etiquette with Allah. Right? So that's why you say put a fatha or a dhamma on the word, on the lafz. Right? Lafzul jalal. Al-jalala referring to the wording that refers to Allah. Right? Clear? Good. That is the main thing. Okay. Al-mufradat. Now, when we go through, if the wording of the two hadith were confusing, when we go through here, it's going to be clear, inshallah. So we have the word kalima, right? A feminine word meaning a word. Khafif is light. Habib, a beloved person or thing. Anything that is beloved to you, call it habib. This thing is habib. If the thing is female, it's going to be habibatun. Male, habiba, habibun. Thaqil, heavy. Hamd is praise, right? Azim, the magnificent, the great. Mizan, scale. Now, no, this is one word. Mizanun. It's not the alif and noon from like kalimatan, qalaman, right? It's not that alif and noon. It's mizan. Sabaqa, he surpassed, right? Sabaqa. Sabaqa, somebody surpass, outrun them. Right? Sabaqa Muhammadun Ahmada. Muhammad surpass Ahmad, meaning he surpassed him in a race, in his exam, depending on the context. Dhakir, right? The one who remembers Allah, or the one who does the remembrance. Right? The one who does the remembrance. Dhakir. Also, the word dhakara can mean to remind. To mention. Dhakaraka means he remember or he mention. Right? For dhikr is referring to both. Because you have to remember and you have to mention. Meaning you say it. Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah. Kathir, a lot, plenty, qalil, few. Mufarrid, the one who secludes. And notice this is on the doer part too. Right? Like allama, muallim. So the verb for this is what? Who could figure out the verb for it? Huh? What is the verb for muallim or mudarris? Allama or darrasa. So the verb for this is going to be farrada. Farrada, right? Farrada. But don't worry about the verb too much. You mightn't find that in regular usage. Lisan, tongue, wa bihamdi, and with his praise. Subhanallah, glory be to Allah. When you say Subhanallah, meaning Allah is without any imperfection or deficiency. Right? That is what Subhan means. Subhan, tasbih, freeing Allah from any deficiency, imperfection. Okay, the dual form. This is the focus of this lesson. In Arabic, the dual form is a grammatical number indicating exactly two of something. Right? A grammatical number. You're not using the word two. Right? You're changing the word to represent two. Distinct from singular and plural forms. Right? In English, you have singular and plural. Pen, pens, man, men, car, cars. Right? There is no dual form. Grammatical dual. It is formed by adding prefix specific suffixes to the singular noun or adjective. For nouns without ta, it is formed by adding alif and noon or ya and noon. Right? While for nouns with ta, the ta is changed to the open ta, meaning the ta marbuta, the wrong ta, the closed ta, is changed to the open ta, maftuha, before adding the dual endings. The letter before these suffixes will take a fatha. Right? The difference between alif and noon, ya and noon will be covered in chapter 10. Inshallah. So we have an example. Kitab is a book. So adding alif or noon and ya and noon, you have kitabani or kitabaini, two books. Clear? So kalimatun, a word, kalimatani or kalimataini, two words. Khafifun, khafifani, khafifaini, khafifatun, khafifatani, khafifataini. Right? It can be for both the noun and the adjectives. Yatimun faqirun, a poor orphan. Right? A poor orphan, male. So two poor orphans, yatimani faqirani. Right? Or yatimaini faqiraini. Remember, you got a match. Right? Now, in brief, the difference between the alif and noon and the ya and noon is like fatha, dhamma, and kasra. So alif and noon represents the dhamma state. And ya and noon represents fatha or kasra states. So dual words, the state don't change with vowels. It changes with letters. Right? In brief. So if the word is in dhamma state, you're going to be alif and noon. If it is in fatha or kasra state, meaning majrur or mansub, it's going to be ya and noon. Don't try to figure out why. Just know there is it. Right? You understand? Are you still last? You understand? Right? Just how why is you are and not you is. Right? Just know that is how it is. So this is an example with the male, right? Like in Surah Al-Kahf. وَأَمَّا الْجِدَارُ, as for the wall, فَكَانَ لِغُلَامَيْنِ يَتِيمَيْنِ, it belonged to, kana was li, for, gulamain, two boys, gulamain, right? Two young boys. Gulam, one young boy, gulamaini. Kana li gulamaini. Yatimaini. Right? And these two young boys, they're orphans. Here the word orphan is like an adjective, so that's why it matches. Gulamaini, yatimaini. Two orphan young boy. Right? Imra'atun, imra'atani, two women, or imra'ataini. Right? A poor orphan, female, yatimatun, faqiratun. Two poor orphans, female, yatimatani, faqiratani, yatimataini, faqirataini. Clear? Formation clear? So this is the dual. So in the hadith, right, kalimatan, khafifatan, thaqilatan, habibatan, all they are in the dual form and feminine form. The plural form. similar to the dual form. In Arabic, the plural form is a grammatical term indicating more than two of something. In English, it indicates more than one. In Arabic, it indicates more than two. Right? As generally. The plural form can be categorized into two main types, regular plural and irregular plural, like in English. Right? Regular plural follow predictable patterns by adding suffixes, while broken plural involve change to the internal structure of the word. Right? Like in English, regular plural, you just add a S or ES. Irregular plural, you just, the whole word change. Right? You just got to know it. Man, men. Right? Regular plural, they are formed by adding waw and noon, right? When here the noon has a fatha. Or ya and noon. Here the noon has a fatha. With the dual, the noon has a what? Kasra. Right? The letter before the waw and noon will take a dhamma, while the letter before the ya and noon will take a kasra. Right? The easy way to remember, just memorize two words, and most of you already memorize words. Right? Muslimuna, muslimina. You just use that as a template for the plural. So if you're trying to figure out what is the vowels, just say the word in your head. Muslimuna, muslimina. And for the the dual, kalimatani, kalimataini. Right? Kalimatani, kalimataini. Khafifatani, khafifataini. Yatimani, yatimaini. Use any dual. You just memorize one as a pattern in your head. Regular plural of feminine words are formed by adding alif and ta to the singular noun. The letter before this suffix will take a fatha. Right? Like what we like the word kalimatun, right? The plural for it becomes, we didn't have, okay. The plural for kalima is what? Where we did kalimatun. Kalimatun. Like just now we did plural in the somebody's playing something. Can you please slow down your Akhi. Right, we had some feminine plural in the chapter before. What was it? In the Arabiya Bayna Yadayk. Mudarrisat, mudarrisatun, mudarrisatun. Right, you add alif and ta. Up to here is clear? Huh? Any questions? Right, examples of irregular plural: rajul, rijal, imra'atun, nisa'un, qalamun, aqlamun. Right, there's some random examples. Examples of regular plural. Okay. So the word Muslim, to form the plural of Muslim, will you add waw and noon or ya and noon? Right? Muslimun, it becomes Muslimun, Muslimin. That's for Muslim. They are Muslim men, right? Or if they're men and women together, we said the male takes precedence over. Remember we said they're similar to the kitabani, kitabaini. The state changed with the letter. We're going to go through it more detail later on. So for example, Muslimun, when it's in Dhamma state, you're going to say Muslimun. If it's in Fatha or Kasra state, Mansub or Majur, you say Muslimin. So you're going to say, the Muslims came, Ja'a al-Muslimun. I saw the Muslims. Now the Muslims, they become object. Ra'aytul Muslimin. You're not going to say Ra'aytul Muslimun. Like for example, a regular word, like Ja'a rajulun, Ra'aytu rajulan. that change with the vowels. But these change with the letters. Muslimatun, muslimatun. Right? Rajulun muslimun. A musliman, imra'atun muslimatun. Rijalun muslimun. This one you got to change this, right? Rijalan muslimin. Right? Change this one here to rijalan muslimin. Rijalun muslimun or rijalan muslimin. Right? If you can rijalan muslimin or rijalin muslimin, both gonna be same. Right? Whether here it's as it came as an adjective, so it has to match. Right? So rijal here is in Dhamma state, the muslimun got to be in Dhamma state. But when muslimun is in Dhamma state, it's with the waw. Here, if rijal is in fatha or kasra state, whether it's rijalan or rijalin, the adjective has to be in fatha or kasra state. Now, for the plural, is the same thing, right? Muslimin. Imra'atun, muslimatun, a Muslim woman. Nisa'un, muslimatun, Muslim woman, right? Nisa'un, muslimatun. In certain instances, the plural form may be used instead of the dual form if it doesn't cause confusion. Right? It's just a side note. So it is accurate to say qulubur rajulaini, the hearts of the two men. As it is understood, they each have one heart. This point clear? The plural, you can use the plural instead of the dual if it's not going to be confusing. Right? So you can say the hearts, the kulub of the two men. The hearts of the two men. No one is going to understand that they have more than two hearts. Right? Everyone knows that each one of them has one heart each. Right? And this usage is in the is present in the Quran. If the genders are mixed, then the masculine is always used. Right? We mentioned this. Right? Muhammad wa Ahmad wa Khadija muslimun. Ahmad wa Khadija musliman. Right? Okay. So far, clear? All right. Here now is where I need to put your brains on back again. Take 30 seconds. Breathe. Don't go nowhere. Just breathe. Finish breathing. Now, to understand this here, the previous lesson got to be very clear. Clear? What unclear? Let me make sure everything clear. So we have Muslim means Muslim. Now you want to say Muslims. How we say Muslims? Right? You either say Muslimun or Muslimin. Right? Muslimun or Muslimin. To mean Muslims. Now when you say Muslimun, when you say Muslimin, that is not important right now. But just know that if you want to say Muslims, you say Muslimun or Muslimin. Similar like in English, you have men. Plural man, plural for man is men. Plural for pen, pens. Car, cars. So, men is a regular noun. So, let me say car become cars, you add S. Pen become pens. Bus become buses, right? ES or S. That is the regular plural. So, now the regular plural for nouns, you add a waw with a noon or a ya and a noon. Right? Muslim, muslimun. Muhsin, muhsinun. Mu'min, mu'minun. Mukhlis, mukhlisun. Sadiq, sadiqun. Right? Siddiq, siddiqun. Salih, salihun. Right? Or with the ya noon. Salihin, muslimin, mu'minin. Right? That is how you form the plural. Now, if you're forming the dual, you're adding ya and noon or waw and noon. So Muslim is Muslimani or Muslimaini. Right? The difference between the dual and the plural with the ya and the noon is the vowel that is before. Right? Because Muslim, the plural is Muslimina. You're adding ya and noon, but the meme on Muslim takes kasra. Two Muslim, Muslimain. Right? The meme on the Muslim takes fatha. The easiest way to learn it right now is with the song. Muslimun, Muslimin, that is a plural. Muslimani, Muslimaini. Right? Muslimani, Muslimaini. That's for the dual. So let me take a set of examples. You have the word qalam. What is qalamun? Pen. So two pen gonna be what? Qala, qalamaini or qalamani, right? Two pens, right? Qalamaini or qalamaini. Sometimes you're going to use qalaman, sometimes you use qalamain. Don't worry when, we're going to deal with that later. The main thing is that anywhere you see qalamani or qalamaini, you know it's two pens. Kitab, two books. Kitabani or kitabaini. So anywhere you see kitabaini or kitabaini, it's always going to be two books. When you need to know when to use that, it's got to do with the Arabic. Right? For the English, it's always going to translate as two. You have the word salih, rajulun salih, right? Righteous. Two righteous man, right? Salihaini or Salihaini or you're repeating the same thing. Two. Huh? Salihaini or salihani. Right? So if you see salihaini or salihaini, salihani or salihaini gonna mean, right? Two righteous men. Let me see. Right? Mu'min. What's mu'min? Believer. Right? Two believers. Mu'minaini or mu'minani. Right? Clear? Now, more than two believers, three or and more. Mu'minun or mu'minin. Right? Mu'minun or mu'minin. More than two righteous. Salihun or salihin. More than two, like in Surah Al-Ahzab, Innal Muslimina wal Muslimati wal Mu'minina wal Mu'minati wal Qanitina wal Qanitati, right? Plural for male, plural for female. Right? Sadiqina was Sadiqati. Sabirin. What is Sabirin? Sabir, a patient person. More than two patient person gonna be? People? In Arabic. More, if Sabir is one patient person, Sabirun or Sabirin. Two patient individual. Sabirani or Sabiraini. Sabirani or Sabiraini. Right? So Rajulan Sabiran, two patient men. Rajulaini Sabirain, two patient men. Right? Mutasaddiq, somebody who give sadaqah. person who gives sadaqah, you call him a mutasaddiq. Two person who give sadaqah, the two of them, they're going to be mutasaddiqani or mutasaddiqaini. More than two people who give charity, mutasaddiqun, mutasaddiqeen. Right? So you're adding alif and noon, ya and noon, waw and noon. Right? Those are the suffixes. Right? Where is the suffix? Where is the suffix? Right? Any addition to a word is at the end of the word. And prefix, the addition to a word in the beginning of the word. Right? That's the English terminology. Good. Now, let's go to the board before we go to the book. I think it'll be easier to comprehend. From the board. All right. Now we use an easy word first. What is this word? What is walidun? Walid. No. Walid. Walid means father. Right? One sister, you guys let him read down. The sister is sharper. Or they're drinking, they're using ChatGPT kind of. Walid is father. Right? Now, what is the word for parents? Walidain. Walidain. Understand where you get walidain from? Because what walid means, remember he said walid from the word walada, literally means he gave birth, he begot. Right? The man begot, the woman begot. The word begot can use for man and woman. Right? Now the two individuals who begot going to be the door form for the begotter is what? Not walid. So the male begotter is walid. The female begotter going to be what? Right? Walidatun. Walidatun. Right? So this is going to be father and this is going to be mother. So you understand how these words are used for mother and father? Right? The door form. We did the door form for the three-letter verb. Is on the scale fa'il, right? Kafara kafir, daraba darib, dhakara dhakir. Clear so far? You look last again. Where you last? Tell me, you start gonna You don't understand?
I understand the grammar part, but I understand the part where you add the suffix.
I catch you. What you don't understand?
I didn't understand the grammar part, but I understand the
Which grammar part? Why you put ya, noon, wawa, noon? No, I said don't worry about that yet. Once you see, for example, Muslimun and Muslimin, both of them going to mean Muslims. Once you see Muslimani, Muslimaini, both going to translate as two Muslims. That is all we need right now. Don't worry about when to use this or when to use that. Anywhere you see Muslimain, you know it's going to be two Muslim. Anywhere you see Muslimani, you know it's going to mean two Muslims. That's all you need right now. Right? Don't worry about why you use this or that. Now, father is walid, mother is walidatun, right? The begotter, male begotter, female begotter. Clear? Right? Now the two of them together are not going to be two begotter. Right? We're using the literal meaning to understand where we get. Right? The two of them, not two begotter. Two begotter going to be what? Now walidan or walidaina. Right? Walidaini, sorry. Or walidani. Correct? Walidani or walidaini. Now who you call the two begotters together in English? Parents. That is where you get the word parents from. Clear? 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 Right? Because once male and female, you use the male version. All right. Now let me take another word. What is the word for yad? Or what does it mean for yad? Yadun. One hand. Right? A hand. Right? Your right side or your left side? You understand? Which one? Yad. Your right or left? Right? One out of the two is yad. Now, two hands going to be what? Huh? Yadaini or yadani, right? Yadani or yadaini. Clear? We moving together? Yadani or yadaini. Okay. Now, to the next part. We want to say, okay, let's use an easy one before we go to that. So we have the word, let me use the word, the singular, walid. So walid means what? Father, right? Or parent without the S, right? Because the mother is a parent, the father is a parent. Huh? No, there's a different word. Even though you might, in the context, it's referring to the same person, but it's a different word. Now you want to say the father of Muhammad, the parent of Muhammad, the male parent of Muhammad. What are you going to say? Walidu Muhammadin. We good? Walidu. Why what? What you want it to be? Why? You tell me why. The parent or the father of Muhammad. What construction is it? What is the rule for mudaf ilay? First word takes single vowel, no alif and lam. Second word always in kasra state. So the dun becomes din. Right? Clear?
Yeah.
Right? Baitul mudarrisi, qalamut talibi. Right? Make sure we don't write out of the board. Bring this in a little bit. You, how you say what? You jump in. You're not. We didn't reach there yet. Clear? Walidu Muhammad, the father of Muhammad. The father of Muhammad. Now, we want to say The two parents of Muhammad. Right? The parents of Muhammad. The parents of Muhammad. Now, the parents of Muhammad, this word here, got to come here, right? Anytime the dual becomes the first word in this construction. In other words, the mudaf. Right? This construction. Everyone understand this construction. Right? Parent of. Anytime the dual becomes the first word of this construction, you drop the noon. So the parent of Muhammad, the parents of Muhammad going to be wa, li, da, Muhammad, or wa, li, dai, Muhammad. Instead of wali daini, we drop the noon. Wali dai. Instead of wali dani, we drop the noon. Wali da Muhammad, wali dai Muhammad. Don't worry why, but you understand up to here? You understand what happened? That's what you need. That is all you need. Everybody understand what happened? Don't try to understand why it happened. Go ask Sibaway when you meet him. Inshallah. That's your research then. Who is Sibaway? Not sleep away, Sibaway. Now, right now, that is what I want you to understand. Understand what's happening. Don't worry about why it happened. There is none we business. Right? Hands. The two hands of Muhammad now going to be what? What we got to do? Everybody, tell me now. What the two hands of Muhammad going to be what? Yadai Muhammad or Yada Muhammad or Yadai Muhammad. That's why in the Quran, what's the verse? You say Tabbat. Tabbat, look at, go and check the spelling. Tabbat Yada Abi Lahab. Right? Why Yada? Because originally it was Yadani. Right? Tabbat Yada Abi Lahab. Perish be the two hands of Abi Lahab. Where the noon gone? Because it's two hands of Abi Lahab. Tabbat Yada Abi Lahab. Clear? That is what I want you to understand. Understand what's happening. Don't worry why it happened. Right? Why it happened is not our headache right now. Ah. Uh-huh. At the end, for the other, we're going to finish at 6:30. When we finish, anything extra. بعد الدرس. With any, after the class, inshallah, your input, after the class. During the class, just for the students, but after any input after the class, inshallah. Clear? All right, so let's go through the book now. Okay, we got to switch. So the dual and the regular with al-mudaf ilay construction, right? In a possessive construction, if the first word is a dual noun or a regular masculine plural noun. The same principle with regards to the plural, right? Well, with understanding this, you're going to automatically understand the plural as we go through here. So we have the word yad, a hand. Two hands is yadani or yadaini. Clear? Right? So you want to say the two hands of Muhammad. Muhammad's two hands, right? What you do? You drop the noon, so you become Yada Muhammadin, Yadai Muhammadin, right? And we give the example from the Quran. If you go and check the how it's written in Surah Masad, right? You see, it has the alif there, right? Tabbat Yada Abi Lahab. So now, and in a sentence, for example, I saw Umar's two sons, right? I saw the two sons of Umar, right? Umar's two sons, the two sons of Umar. Now, one son is Ibnun, two son is Ibnani or Ibnaini. So now the two sons of Umar going to be Ibnai Umar or Ibna Umar, depending on how it comes in this sentence, right? So, Ra'aytu ibnai Umar. Ra'aytu ibnai Umar. Remember, the focus here is comprehension, not expression, right? So the main thing, when you see this, you know what it's referring to. This is the teacher's two pens, right? Or the two pens of the teacher. هذا قلما المدرس. This is the two pen of the teacher. Originally is qalamani, but because it is in this construction, you drop the noon. Now, with regards to the plural, the same thing. You drop the noon. So, for example, you have the word mushrik is a polytheist. More than one mushrik is mushrikun or mushrikeen, right? More than one idol worshipper. An idol worshipper is a mushrik. More than one mushrikun, mushrikeen. Now you want to say the idol worshippers of Quraysh. You're going to be mushriku Qurayshin or mushriki Qurayshin. Clear? If it's not clear, let me know. Right? Remember, just understand what's happening. Don't worry why it's happening. Ja'a mudarrisu al-jami'ati. The university's teachers came, right? The teachers of the university came. So teachers is mudarrisun. The teachers of the university, you got to drop the noon. Mudarrisu al-jami'ati. Now if you read this, you're going to read it straight, right? Mudarrisul jami'ati. Now here, when in the speech, in the audio is last, right? Mudarrisul jami'ati. It can sound like the teacher of the university came, right? So the context gonna let you know that what is meant is mudarrisu al-jami'ati, right? When it comes to listening, but when it comes to reading, you can clearly see it, right? You can clearly see the waw. Ra'aytu muslimi Guyana, right? I saw the Muslims of Guyana, right? Originally it is Muslimin. Because it's in the mudaf and mudaf ilay construction, you lose the noon. Remember, this is only if it's coming as the first word. If it's coming as the second word, it's not going to lose. So, for example, if you were to say the university of the teachers, it's going to be Jami'atu al-Mudarrisin, right? It's not going to lose the noon. It's only in the first word, it's going to lose the noon. Now, remember we mentioned that it's 6:30. All right, 5 minutes. With regards to the female plural, it doesn't lose the ta, right? The female plural. Remember the female plural, the regular female plural, like for example, muslimatun become muslimatun, right? So the Muslim woman of Guyana, they're gonna be muslimatu Guyana, right? This is for the male, the masculine version. So the female with the alif and ta, nothing changed. It's a regular operation. Now remember we said the possessive pronoun, like my book, your book, his book, is actually mudaf and mudaf ilay, right? The book of his, the book of mine. So now if I gotta say, your hand, my hand, is literally the hands of yours, the two hands of yours. So in that construction, you gotta drop the noon. So for example, yad is hand, two hand, yadani. His two hand gonna be, right? You gotta drop the his is the who. It's gonna be yadahu or yadaihi, right? Yadahu from yadani or yadaihi from yadaini. Now why he? Remember the who and he changed to make it, if it's easier to pronounce with he, you say he. Easier to pronounce with who, you say who. Right? Same thing with whom and him. Right? Clear? Yadani. So your two hands gonna be yadaka or yadaik. This is the book, right? Al-Arabiya Baina Yadaik. Where the alif and noon, where the noon gone? Originally is Al-Arabiya Baina Yadainiki. Right? But you drop the noon. You're not gonna say Yadainiki or Yadainika. No, Yadaika or Yadaiki. Clear? Right? My two hands, same thing. You drop the noon and you add, remember from my you add in ya, sukun. Right? Kitabi, my book, qalami, my pen. You drop the noon, so it become yada, ya or yadayya. Now when you drop the noon, now you have, remember, you see when you drop the noon here, you have a sukun on the ya. So you end up with two sukun. So you change the sukun on the ya to fatha. Because remember, you can't have two sukun in Arabic. Pay attention. Right? You see here? If you drop this noon, you end up with a sukun on the ya, sukun on the alif. And the ya has a sukun. So in this, for the my, the ya takes a fatha for pronunciation. Right? Yada, ya or yadayya. Right? Her two hands, yadaha or yadaiha. And here we have some examples from the Quran. You're going to study them for homework, understand them, and we're going to go through them in the next class, inshallah. So remind us to continue from the example. We're going to go through the examples. Some of these examples are covering the plural and the dual, and also some of the mudaf. We're going to go through them in the next class, inshallah. We are officially finished. Anyone wants to leave can leave. Any questions? We're going to answer the questions. On. Everyone understand everything? Remember, you're understanding what happened. Everyone understand what happened today? That is why it happened. That you asking why it happened. Yeah. That you can die without knowing. You don't worry about it. Yeah, put it to charge.
Which charger?
You gotta use a C.
Huh? No, not the come downstairs and I'll show you.
Okay, everybody look good? سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك ونشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت ونستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم.
I couldn't get to your class early because I work late at night. I work at night.
No worries.